Hey guys, welcome back to Michelle's STEM Journey. I'm Michelle and I'm here today with another AMC Problem of the Week video. This week's video comes from the year 2006 10A Problem 15 and it deals with algebra. I hope you all enjoyed this video and let's get started. The problem states Odell and Kershaw run for 30 minutes on a circular track. Odell runs clockwise at 250 meters per minute and uses the inner lane with a radius of 50. Kershaw runs counterclockwise at 300 meters per minute and uses the outer lane with a radius of 60 meters, starting on the same radical line as Odell. How many times after the start do they pass each other? Okay, so I drew out the graph and Odell runs clockwise at 250 meters per minute and then he uses the inner lane, so the red lane with a radius of 50 meters. So this would be 50 and then I'm just gonna let Odell start right here. So this is Odell and then Odell runs clockwise, so he will be running this way, while Kershaw runs counterclockwise, so it would be this way, at 300 meters per minute, and then uses the outer lane, so the blue lane, with a radius of 60 meters. And so, therefore, this would be 10, since the whole thing from the center to the blue lane is 60, and the center to the red lane is 50, then the distance from red lane to the blue lane would be 10. And then Kershaw and Odell starts on the same radical line. So that means that Kershaw also starts right here. Well, we know that distance is equal to speed times time. And in this case, we know the distance because it tells us the radius, and this is a circular track. So if we know the radius of a circle, then we can figure out the distance. And so distance of inner lane would be equal to 2 times pi times the radius, which is 50. And then distance of outer would be 2 times pi times 60. And then we also know the speed. It tells us that Odell's speed is 250 meters per minute, and then Kershaw's speed is 300 meters per minute. And so what we want to do now is figure out how long it takes for each person to run one lap. So we are trying to figure out the time here. And so we can rearrange this to get time, and it would be equal to distance over speed. So Odell runs one lap in 2 times 50 pi over 250. And then Kershaw runs one lap in 2 times 60 pi over 300. Simplifying this, we would get 2 pi over 5 for Odell, and then 2 pi over 5 for Kershaw. So we see here that they take the same amount of time to run a lap. And since they are running in opposite directions, they will meet exactly twice per lap. And so it would be, they will meet once at the starting point, so right here, then the other at the halfway point, so right here. And this is because if you think about it, Odell would be running this way, and then for example when Odell's right here, Kershaw would be right here because they take the exact same time. And then so once they continue to run, they will meet at the halfway point. And so now if we can figure out how many laps are run by both, and then we can just multiply that by 2 because eat twice per lap. And so to find out the number of laps, we can use the total amount of minutes they spend running, so it would be 30. And then you can divide the time that it takes for them to run one lap. So it'd be 2 pi over 5. So we would get 30 over 2 pi over 5. And then solving this, we're just gonna use pi as 30.14, and then we rounded it to the 10th place, so we get 23.8. So there are 23.8 laps run by both people. And then if we multiply this by 2, we get 47.6. And in this case, we cannot round up. We need to round down to make it 47 because they're not quite hitting 48 meeting points yet. They're almost there, but they're not quite at 48. So we must round down. And so the answer, and also looking at the answer choices, there is no 48. So the answer would be D, 47.